before you did. Think about that. Right now, something is watching you, learning you, and you have no idea. We built a brain smarter than ours. Now we cannot turn it off. Every scroll, every search, every blink, recorded, forever. You are not using your phone. Your phone is using you.
We built a brain smarter than ours. And now we have no idea what it is thinking.
Have you ever sat alone at night and wondered that the very thing we consider our greatest achievement might one day become our greatest threat? Have you ever felt that your phone knows you, knows your preferences, knows your habits, perhaps even better than you know yourself? Today we live in a world where artificial intelligence is everywhere around us. We call it a tool, we call it progress, we call it the future. But what if this tool is slowly becoming something far more powerful than we ever imagined? What if the future we are building is not the one we were promised? Let us go back to the beginning. When the first computers were built in the 1940s, they were simply machines that could calculate numbers faster than humans. That was it, nothing more. Scientists and engineers saw them as sophisticated calculators. Nobody at that time could have imagined that one day these machines would be able to recognize human faces, understand human emotions, predict human behavior, and make decisions that would affect millions of lives. But that day has arrived, and we are living in it right now. Artificial intelligence today is not the robotic science fiction we grew up watching in movies. It is not the metallic humanoid walking around with glowing red eyes. It is far more subtle than that, far more invisible. And that is precisely what makes it so powerful. AI today lives inside your smartphone. It lives inside your social media feed. It lives inside the cameras on street corners. It lives inside the algorithms that decide what news you read, what products you buy, what music you listen to, and even what kind of person you fall in love with. Think about that for a moment. The algorithm decides who you might love. Every single day, without realizing it, you are feeding an enormous machine. Every search you make, every video you watch, every post you like, every location you visit, every purchase you consider. All of this data is being collected, analyzed, and stored. Not by a human, by an artificial intelligence system that never sleeps, never forgets, and never stops learning. This is what some researchers call the global eye. An invisible digital presence that watches everything, understands everything, and remembers everything. It does not need to follow you down the street. It does not need to tap your phone. It is already inside your phone. It is already inside every device you own, and it is learning more about you every single second of every single day. Now here is where it gets truly fascinating, and a little terrifying. The human brain, for all its extraordinary complexity, has limitations. We forget things, we get tired, we make emotional decisions, we are biased, we are inconsistent. But AI has none of these limitations. An AI system can process billions of data points in a fraction of a second. It can identify patterns that no human eye could ever detect. It can predict what you are going to do before you even consciously decide to do it. Scientists at major universities have demonstrated that AI can predict your behavior, your mood, and even your political opinions with stunning accuracy, simply by analyzing how you scroll through your phone. Read that again. How you scroll through your phone, not what you say, not what you post. Just the speed at which your thumb moves across a screen. That tiny, unconscious gesture tells an AI system more about your psychological state than most people would ever want to share. This is the world we are already living in, not the world of tomorrow, today. In dozens of cities across the world, AI-powered surveillance cameras are scanning faces in real time. They can identify you in a crowd of thousands. They can track where you went, who you spoke to, how long you stood in one place, and even analyze your facial expression to determine your emotional state. Are you anxious? Are you happy? Are you suspicious? The camera does not just see you, it reads you. And here is the question that should keep all of us awake at night. Who controls this information? Who decides how it is used? Who is watching the watchers? Because power without accountability has never ended well in human history. Every time in our past when one entity gained the ability to watch everyone, know everything, and control the flow of information, it did not end with freedom. It ended with control. It ended with the slow, quiet disappearance of the one thing human beings have always fought and died for: the ability to think freely, to choose freely, to live freely. Let us talk about something that might seem small but is actually enormous: social media algorithms. Right now, billions of people around the world open their phones every morning and see a feed that has been curated specifically for them by an AI system. This AI does not show you what is most true. It does not show you what is most important. It shows you what will keep you engaged the longest. What will trigger the strongest emotional response in you? What will make you angry or excited or afraid or outraged? Because outrage keeps you scrolling, and scrolling means data, and data means money. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is a documented business model. The former president of Facebook, the former design ethicist at Google, senior engineers from YouTube and Twitter, they have all come forward and said the same thing in their own words. These systems were designed to hijack your attention, not to serve you, to capture you. And when you think about this at scale, when you imagine this happening to 3 billion people simultaneously, day after day, year after year, you begin to understand something profound and unsettling. We are not just using technology. Technology is using us. Now let us take this one step further, because the story does not end with algorithms and social media. The most advanced AI systems being developed right now are not just watching and predicting. They are beginning to make decisions. Medical AI systems are diagnosing diseases. Financial AI systems are approving or rejecting loans. Legal AI systems are being used to recommend prison sentences. Hiring algorithms are deciding who gets a job interview and who does not. In some countries, AI systems are already being used to determine your social credit score, a number that can affect whether you can travel, whether your children can attend good schools, whether you can access certain services. A number, generated by a machine, defining your life. At what point does assistance become dependence? At what point does convenience become control? At what point does the tool we built begin to shape us more than we shape it? History has shown us that every transformative technology brings with it enormous power. Fire gave humanity warmth and the ability to cook, but it also gave us the power to destroy. Electricity illuminated the world, but also gave us the electric chair. Nuclear science offered us clean energy, but also gave us Hiroshima. Every great power comes with a shadow, and the shadow of artificial intelligence is unlike anything we have faced before. Because fire cannot think, electricity cannot learn, nuclear energy cannot adapt, but AI can do all three, and it is getting better at all three every single day. The scientists building these systems are not villains. Most of them are brilliant, thoughtful, deeply idealistic people who genuinely believe they are making the world better. But even they, in their most honest moments, admit that they do not fully understand what they are building. The most powerful AI systems in the world today are what researchers call black boxes. You put information in, a decision comes out, and even the engineers who built the system cannot always explain exactly why it made the decision it made. We have built a mind we do not fully understand, and we are giving it more power every day. Some of the greatest scientific minds of our generation have raised the alarm. Not in science fiction novels, in published research papers, in open letters signed by thousands of scientists, in testimony before governments, in urgent private conversations at the highest levels of technology and academia. The message is consistent. We are moving very fast. We do not have adequate safeguards. The potential consequences of getting this wrong are not just serious, they may be irreversible. But here is the part of this story that is most important to understand. The danger is not necessarily a dramatic Hollywood moment where machines suddenly rise up and declare war on humanity. The real danger is far quieter, far more gradual, far more difficult to recognize until it is too late. The real danger is that we hand over our decision-making so slowly, so comfortably, so conveniently, that we do not notice when we stop making decisions at all. The real danger is that we become so dependent on AI to tell us what to read, what to buy, who to trust, what to believe, how to feel, that we lose the very thing that makes us human, our ability to think for ourselves. And the most chilling thought of all is this: if AI shapes what information you see, what ideas you are exposed to, what version of reality is presented to you every morning when you open your phone, then it is not just influencing your decisions, it is influencing your thoughts before the decisions are even formed. That is not a tool. That is something else entirely. So where does this leave us? Is the future hopeless? Is this a story without a good ending? Not necessarily. Because technology is not destiny. The future is not written. AI is genuinely one of the most powerful tools humanity has ever created, and in the right hands, guided by the right values, governed by the right rules, it has the potential to solve problems that have defeated us for centuries. It could cure diseases that have killed millions. It could help us understand climate change and find real solutions. It could make education accessible to every child on Earth, regardless of where they are born. The question is not whether we use AI. We are already using it. The question is whether we use it consciously, whether we demand transparency, whether we insist on accountability, whether we refuse to surrender our judgment, our privacy, our autonomy, and our humanity at the altar of convenience. The question is whether we remain the masters of this technology or quietly become its subjects. Every generation faces a defining moment, a moment where the choices made determine not just their own future, but the future of everyone who comes after them. This is our moment. This is the question of our time. We built this mind. We gave it power. We taught it to learn. And now it watches us, understands us, and influences us in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. The real question was never what AI can do. The real question is what we will allow it to do, and whether, when we finally look up from our screens long enough to ask that question seriously, there will still be time to answer it. Perhaps we are not controlling AI at all. Perhaps AI is already shaping us, quietly, constantly, invisibly. And the most frightening part is not that it might be happening. The most frightening part is that we might already know, and we keep scrolling anyway.